So a little while ago, I did a video just for shits and giggles about which lantern rings would go to which Stormhawks characters. Well, to further that, I decided to go a little further with that with a couple more videos like this. Now, I don't think I'll make this a thing. Don't ask me to make this a thing because I don't think I'll make it a thing. It'll just be like, hey, wouldn't this be fun? Because some of this is really hard. Like, I had to rack my brain over some of these. Like, I was about to do a Gravity Falls one, but I was like, ah, god damn it, there's no one who can match a lantern ring in that universe. So yeah, I don't think I'll make this like a new segment, but whenever it pops in my head, I might do it again, if I can think of what characters might get those rings and why. It's not like, oh, I think it'd be cool if this person got the ring. It'd be more like, well, there's gotta be a reason they would get those rings, right? So, anyway, let's do, so this video is gonna be obviously, what Star Versus characters would get lantern rings? Which characters would get which lantern rings? So, let's get started with, of course, the Green Lantern ring. Now, the Green Lantern ring, I think, would go to Marco. Yes, I know that's the obvious pick, but Marco actually makes for a compelling Green Lantern. Here's a guy who was more or less afraid of everything, and then the more he got closer to Star, the more close he got to her world, the more we saw him come out of his shell, the more we saw him overcome his fear. We saw his willpower, his drive, and his, his bravery show the more and more throughout this show. So, yeah, that's what a Green Lantern is all about, overcoming your fear and having that willpower to drive that fear back and being a person, with that kind of courage. So, yeah, Marco would make an excellent Green Lantern. I know, it's kind of obvious pick is obvious, but really, he checks all the bookmarks for a recruit in the Green Lantern Corps. So Marco for the Green Lantern Corps. So let's move on now to the Blue Lantern. Who would become a Blue Lantern in the show? I think now for those who remember, yeah, the Blue Lantern represents hope. So who would get the Blue Ring of Hope? That I think would go to Eclipsa. Why Eclipsa? Why would she get a Blue Lantern ring? Simple. The Blue Lantern ring, Eclipsa is always hopeful for the future. That's why she was so compelled to, bring monsters and humans together. She was so hopeful to have this kind of unity between them and keeps that hope alive. So Eclipsa, while it's an odd pick, would make an excellent, she would get the blue ring. Because she has that hope to unite that future. So yeah, Eclipsa would get the blue ring. So let's move on now to the Star Sapphire ring. Now, of course, that ring represents love. You guys could already guess who's probably going to get who's going to get that ring. Of course, Star Butterfly, for obvious reasons. Star definitely has the, all the makings of a Star Sapphire. I mean, she'd call herself Star Sapphire, and you have to feel great love or were spurred by a great love to gain a Star Sapphire ring. And she's kind of had both, really. Star Butterfly has had both, so a Star Sapphire ring would definitely go to her. So now we move on to the next ring in our category, and that is the Indigo Ring. Now, of course, the Indigo Ring represents compassion. Now you have to be thinking, oh, well, find someone who has great compassion in their hearts. That's not how it works. The Indigo Ring goes to someone who is given compassion. Remember, the Indigo Tribe, according to the comics, the Indigo Tribe are not compassionate people. They were all killers and murderers throughout the galaxy, but they were all given a second chance. That Indigo Ring is kind of like, hey, we were given compassion, and now we're trying to find give our second chance. Someone gave us a second chance, so we got to give them a second chance. So that's that's what the Indigo Ring represents. So who would join the Indigo Tribe? Well, in my opinion, I think that would go to Buffrog. Buffrog was given a second chance by Star. Star showed him great compassion for him and his family, and trusted him well enough to help her stop Toffee in the first season, and she trusted him as the show went on. So, yeah, Buffrog would get the Indigo Tribe ring because of that compassion Star showed her. So there you go. Now we move on to the Red Ring, and I know what you're already thinking. Oh, Tom's going to get the Red Ring. He's full of rage. like I said before in the Stormhawks video, the Red Lantern ring doesn't go to someone who's like, oh, we're angry all the time. And I think the comics have forgotten that. The reason why the Red Lantern, yes, you do have to feel rage in your heart to gain to gain access to a Red Lantern ring, but it has to be a specific kind of rage. That rage being is that you have to feel spurred. You have to feel like vengeance. You have to feel like righteous rage. You have to feel like, you were cheated or wronged, and now you have the anger inside of you and you want to have justice. So yeah, that's how you gain a Red Lantern ring. And that person who would gain the Red Lantern ring is Mina. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Mina's out of her goddamn mind. But think of it from her perspective. Mina was a super soldier who was corrupted by magic by Solara, Eclipse's mother. And basically what had happened was that in her head, in Mina's head, she feels cheated out of a pure human kingdom, and now she's looked at as the villain. So in her mind, all of that rage is boiling inside of her, and now she wants, to have that kind of power again, and she feels wrong, she feels rage. And I know what you're thinking, but what about, does that clarify her as a bad guy? Well, the Red Lanterns aren't really exactly good guys either, so I think it still qualifies for her. And there are some villains among the Red Lantern Corps. But still, her rage and how it plays out is justified in the Red Lantern's opinion. In the Red Lantern context, it's justified. So Mina Loveberry would get the Red Lantern ring. So there you go. There's the Red Lantern ring. Now we move on to the Orange ring. So, of course, the Orange Lantern ring means greed. And who among the Starverse's characters would get an Orange Lantern ring? Look no further than Ludo. Ludo wants everything. He just doesn't want just Muni. He wants his father's respect. He wants to defeat Star and Marco. He wants to rule. He wants everything. The Orange Lantern ring doesn't just mean, oh, you just want cash. It means you want everything and you're greedy for it. Hence why it went to Lex Luthor during Blackest Night. He wanted all of the same things that Ludo wanted. So that's why the Orange Lantern ring would go to Ludo, because he wants everything. He wants it all. He wants all of that, and plus the respect and that he feels cheated out of. So that would definitely qualify him to get an Orange Lantern ring. Now we come to the final, our final ring, the Yellow Lantern ring, the Sinestro Corps. Now for this one, you have to instill great fear. And look no further, because this was an easy one, and you guys already know who I'm probably going to mention. That person is, of course, Toffee. Toffee, of course, was was able to instill fear, even when he was long-ass dead, in the kingdom. I mean, hell, they're still scared of him, even dead in this final season. He still inspires a great amount of fear and, excuse me, a lot of terror among the humans and even some of the monsters. So when you have that effect, even in the afterlife, yeah, a yellow ring would definitely go straight to you. So yeah, Toffee, perfect candidate for the Sinestro Corps. So there you go. Those are all the rings. You may be thinking, what about Black Lanterns and White Lanterns? I don't count them because that's a whole other thing. You have to be dead, or, White Lantern is a whole other thing. So yeah, I just stuck with the core colors. I don't really do the White and Black Lantern rings in here. I don't really pick those. So there you go, guys. I know there was a few other characters here and there that were eligible for rings, but yeah, this was those were kind of easy picks for me among all those characters. But you guys tell me in the comments below, which characters do you think would get which lantern rings in the Starverse of the Force of Evil show? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.